Upon reflection, what has happened over the last 4 years can be summed up in one word. That word is debt. As a result of the president's policies, more than $7 trillion in new federal debt has been thrust upon future generations. Wages have been crushed under the effects of inflation, and the net interest expense on our federal debt is projected to double from what we were paying when President Biden took the oath of office. And what do the American people have to show for this? A massive expansion of government and a regulatory burden and an all-out assault on domestic energy and resource production, especially in states like Texas and Oklahoma, an onslaught of rules and regulations and requirements that have increased the cost of doing business by hundreds of billions of dollars. This is why the American people chose House Republicans to provide an important check on the excesses of the congressional Democrats and this administration.
The chairman opened up talking about the debt. I had to do a reality check because the debt was blown up under the previous administration, and there was hardly a mention of that in the Rules Committee when we dealt with the funding priorities of former President Trump. In fact, President Biden has put out a budget to reduce the debt by $3 trillion over the next 10 years. You know, we never had that kind of effort put forward by the previous administration. So I think if we want to talk about the deficit or the debt, we ought to talk about it when there are Democratic administrations and when there are Republican administrations. But to be selective, it grows a little bit tiresome.
The appropriations bills before us recognize that what's occurred before cannot continue. The nice-to-haves do not square with the unstable debt burden that Congress is placing on future generations. The fiscal year 2025 agriculture, energy, and water, financial services, interior appropriations bills represent a dramatic redirecting of resources towards where they're most needed. I want to thank the members of the Appropriations Committee for working so hard on these. These bills right-size federal agencies to work within the American people's means to resource them.
We have an agriculture appropriation bill that cuts funding for food banks, harming our rural communities and making hunger worse in this country. We have an energy and water funding bill that is before us that provides more giveaways for big polluters and includes polarizing culture war riders, like preventing the renaming of places that commemorate the Confederacy. The Interior and Environment Appropriation Bill guts funding for national parks, allows for more offshore drilling, and reinforces right-wing attacks on the LGBTQIA+ community. And then we have the Financial Services Funding Bill. This bill continues the GOP's quest to ban abortion and IVF. It sides with billionaires and big corporations, making it easier for them to continue price gouging and selling dangerous products that put our kids at risk. And this bill actually makes our elections less secure. I mean, for all the other side's talk about voter fraud, this bill doesn't include a single dime in funding for election security grants. Give me a break. The GOP can't claim to worry about the outcome of our elections if they are not willing to put money where their mouth is to ensure the fairness of our elections. Look, the simple truth is that these bills symbolize Republicans' commitment to deeply unpopular and extreme measures in line with Project 2025, their dystopian plan to consolidate power in the presidency and exercise total control over our country and our lives. If Trump and MAGA Republicans win in November, they promise to gut the checks and balances that protect our freedoms, advance abortion bans in every state, and give big corporations billions of dollars while increasing taxes for middle-class families, policies furthered by these appropriation bills. So with that, I want to thank the witnesses for joining us here today. I want to welcome back the former chairman of the Rules Committee, and I want to apologize to them for the majority making them testify on bills that will never become law. So with that, I yield back my time.